Hello everybody, Michael Spaghetti here. So today I'll be doing another tier list, this time for the sniper. I'm doing these tier lists, by the way, based on which one I like playing the most. And I mean, excluding the scout, I just like him way too much when it comes to his gameplay. So the sniper, you can see here the tiers. These tiers are based on, it's themed to the sniper. The worst is piss. Then there's meh, which is kind of okay. Good is average. That's good, mate. Is the second to best tier, and piss miss as the last one. And this one is based on a reference to one of those strange Gary's Mod videos. I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but it's a very weird, strange video. It's like a minute long, but it's just weird. So I'm gonna be deciding which one will be in which tier, which weapon will be right here. And there's even Merry Christmas in there. I just had to look it up again. So I'm gonna make sure from primary to secondary to melee, as usual as I do all of these. And we'll see which one I would put in which place. So the first one is the upper hand. It's a reskin of the stock sniper rifle. Pretty solid, just a bit loud, but regardless, sniper is not really a quiet killer. He's not like a spy. And as usual, it's just a regular sniper rifle, just a bit louder than the usual. I would say it might be a set of a downgrade because of the sound. Sometimes as a sniper, you want to be as quiet as possible. So I'll just put it slightly lower than the default sniper rifle. It does look way better. It is from CSGO or Counter-Strike reskins, so it is one of more iconic reskins in the game. And for the next one, we have this one I kind of mixed about because it's the Hitman's Heatmaker. This is potentially the best one if you want to be quiet and efficient, but you have to be very good at it. The minus 20% damage on body shots is a pretty great deal. You might not be able to kill everyone in one shot if you want to quick kill them. And it's more efficient on snipers that just focus on the head. I mean, regardless if you play sniper, this weapon specifically, I'll put it... Like, most of the sniper rifles are good. I'm just gonna put it right here. I think it can arguably be better than stock, but it's also kind of harder to use. You have to be a professional sniper to use it. And also you can constantly shoot people. Once you have a charge, you can shoot people without scoping out. So it's pretty good for that if you want to kill people faster. This is definitely better, but it's very risky. The next one is probably the most broken sniper rifle in the game, and the bizarre bargain. There's no bargain. The bargain is so small compared to what you're getting here. This one is arguably the best sniper rifle in the game. Why? Because after two headshots, which I'm sure a lot of people should be able to do it once they play sniper enough, pretty much it becomes a stock sniper rifle without the downsides. The only downside is that you scope and it charges slower. But it's very little. It's like almost nothing. It's almost a direct upgrade to like the Islander for Darwin. Just imagine a direct upgrade for Darwin. And this is for a sniper. So this is making him even more powerful than he is. And once you get enough headshots on scouts or spies or pretty much light classes, heavies will die so quickly from this one. It's ridiculous. I use this one more often than not. Pretty powerful weapon. You're just gonna have a disadvantage against heavies if you get to them too close, but two headshots should kill them if they're not with a medic, unless if they have the locus bar, which is a bit different. So yeah, bizarre bargain is not even bizarre. It's just an upgraded bargain. It's not even a fair one, I would say. The name itself is kind of ironic for what it actually gives you. And this one, maybe that's what's bizarre actually. This one is the reskin of the Huntsman. Now, the Huntsman, I would say, is a complete downgrade. It's only good in medieval. You can argue it says better, but if you know how to scope quickly and headshot quickly, the sniper rifles are just way better. Also, a pyro can counter you, so A good pyro can kill you with your own weapon. The Huntsman or the Fortified Compound, which is right now shown here. These two are pretty much identical. Based on design though, the Fortified Compound I think is slightly better. So I'm just going to put these two in the same tier. They're exactly the same weapon. Now for this weapon, this is probably the worst sniper rifle from what I think. And I'm actually not sure I would put it. I think I would put it, it's not too bad, but I think it's actually a direct downgrade. It's supposed to be a mix of the Huntsman and the regular sniper rifle, or just any of the sniper rifles. So pretty much, you're losing a lot of speed when you scope in. The only good thing about it is that you can see everywhere. You don't have to scope in to charge a shot. But there's a hidden weakness. You cannot jump while doing it. I mean, I don't think you can jump even when you're scoped in regular ones, but you also cannot use it unless if you touch the ground, which means in water, if you're in the water, you're swimming, you cannot use it, which is unfortunate. It has a downgrade that is kind of hidden, but also it makes you very vulnerable to getting killed pretty easily because of how slow it is. Also, you cannot headshot until you fully charge your weapon, so that's a huge disadvantage. Against any other sniper, like this is the only good I would say if you're prepared to shoot whenever, but if you're fighting a very fast target, you're gonna be dead almost in less than a second before you can even charge this all the way to headshot them. And this is also called, I forgot to mention, is the Classic, which is kind of unfortunate. It is based on the sniper rifle from Team Fortress Classic, and sadly it did not make the cut. I feel like it's a bit underpowered compared to the other sniper rifles. Now we're getting to the stock. This one I will just put it right here. It's pretty much, I think they're both they do have their own advantages and disadvantages. The design of the upper hand I think is better, but the regular sniper rifle or stock sniper rifle is quieter, and it's just more simple. You don't have to always have like fancy weapons to make it better. Then we have the reskin of the Machina. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. I mean, I played this for so long, I should be able to pronounce it correctly already. So the Machina reskin, and this is actually the Shooting Star. Surprisingly, the Shooting Star and the Machina, I mean, they both have a very loud sound. I would actually put it above the stock sniper rifle for many reasons why. I would actually put it right here. This weapon can kill an entire row of heavies or anyone in the way. The only characters who would survive it are Fist of Steel heavies, but at that point you're pretty much rendering heavies useless because they cannot have any range. And this does 540 damage in a fully charged headshot, which is kind of crazy. And it penetrates through any teammate. So this can be a team wiper. This is one of the best ones. The only downside, you pretty much have a bigger weakness of being a sniper. You just cannot shoot while being unscoped. It's exactly the opposite of the Classic. It's pretty much the exact opposite of it. They're both polar opposites. This one is much weaker as well. It does have a weakness to it. And this one is just more powerful when you overcharge it or you fully charge it. So this is just way better. These are the same weapons. Well, based on the design though, I would give it to the Shooting Star. Just looks way better. Unless if you're going for the Hitman. I guess Hitman is this one more, but this is like more futuristic style. Both of them are kind of futuristic, honestly. But I feel like the Machina looks more futuristic, surprisingly. This one looks more gimmicky. So the next one is the Sydney Sleeper, and this one is one of the best supporting weapons in a game. You don't have to be a professional assassin or someone that just headshots all the time. Also, it was buffed so you can actually mini crit while headshotting. So it's not as bad. I won't say useless, as bad as before. I would actually put it right here. it's actually better against heavies or characters that are overhealed. They take more damage, and it acts like a Girardi from a distance, so you don't have to use your secondary, you actually get too close to the enemy. It's pretty useful. You cannot do proper headshots like the critical hits, so it's not really efficient in 1 versus 1 or any other fight. You can still kill scouts pretty quickly because of the quick charge and squishy characters, so it is very useful against very squishy characters like the scout, spy especially, and engineer, in case if you find them. Probably the best one if you're an inexperienced sniper. I would probably use this one as a sniper that just started a game, which I would say is probably the best one right here. It's the best starting weapon for sniper. Now, the reskins which I used before, the self-aware beauty mark. This one's the reskin of the Girardi. It does have a hidden upgrade, which seems kind of unfair, but since it's a bigger projectile when you throw it, it does go slower and further actually than the regular Girardi. So sadly, it is kind of a pay to win, although someone did prove it in one of their videos. This weapon here, I would say, is arguably one of the best. Let's put it right here. It's better than Girardi. It's literally an upgrade of the Girardi, and it also would hit people more. Like the hitbox of it, the projectile hitbox is bigger. Kind of unfortunate for people that cannot own the self-aware beauty mark. Now the Cleaner's Carbine. This weapon is arguably good if you have the Bushiwaka, which is right here, but the Girardi is far better in it in almost every way. Sure, you can do critical hits for a few more seconds, but is it really worth it for to use a very bad weapon? I mean, you can finish people off with it and get free mini crits, but it's I would say it's just not a good weapon. It's not a good secondary. Now for the Cozy Camper, this one I'll use it so much. It makes sniper more of a sniper, more of a camper. It also regenerates your health. You pretty much have a medic nearby you at all times or on you all times. Also, you do not flinch from attacks from fire attacks, so pyro is pretty much not much of an issue if you're fully charged. And it's just it gives you a bunch of good passive abilities. So this one, I'll be putting it right here. It's solid, not too great, but it is pretty solid. And now we're going to the Darwin's Danger Shield. This is probably the most annoying passive or secondary for or against pyros. Why I would say annoying? Because flare guns are pretty much useless against snipers who have this. Makes them fireproof, and they also take less damage from. It's crazy. They take half the damage from fire, so it makes pyro very weak against them. Kind of unfair. Makes them even more advantageous against pyros than before because of their range. This one is just way too good, especially against pyros. It is kind of useless. It is useless against other players, or other classes, but against pyros, it's just way too good. I would just use it if you get flanked by pyros way too often. This is probably the best one. Your weaknesses, though, is if they get too close to you, you can just use your mirror weapon, which is more efficient, or you can just use your shotgun. Now, Girardi, I'm just gonna put it right here. It's pretty much the same, just a slight downgrade because of the distance, throwing distance of the projectile, and also it doesn't look as good. It's pretty simple. It's just piston a jar, which gives the sniper mini crits if he manages to land it. Now the Razorback. This has been buffed a bit, and it's better against spies, but I don't think it's as good still. All you have to do is just check your back for every moment, or just put your back on the wall so spies cannot really backstab you as easily. This one generates now instead of going to respawn and just getting it over and over. So it is slightly better, but it completely removes overheal, which is unfortunate because sniper might need it in case if he fights another sniper or someone else. So he's pretty bad with the medic if you have this. Also, Spike can just use a pistol if they see it. Like, the ambassador can kill a sniper pretty easily, so not a lot of points for using this one. Although I'm putting it here because it is a solid counter, just not that good if you're fighting anyone else but a spy. Now for the SMG. The SMG I think is better than the Continuous Carbine, but not too good still. Sadly, most of Sniper's secondary offensive or pretty much guns he has, the SMG, he only has sadly 2, but the SMG I feel is still weak. I know that I've seen many people use it effectively, but if you know how to use it effectively, I'm sure you can really headshot in a far better position than anyone else even, and the SMG is good against scouts, I guess, but the scout will out damage you if they can shoot the same accuracy as you can shoot with your SMG. This is probably better against, I guess, spies if you get up close to you, but anyone else, it's pretty inefficient. The next one is the Tribalman. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. Tribalman's Shiv. So this one is pretty effective against spies. I'll just put it right here. It does have a minus 50 or pretty much half the damage to any other player, but it does give you an indication where a spy would be from 6 seconds of bleeding. And also if you find a spy bleeding with this one, you'll have an easy time getting to them. It's also, I would say, safer than using the Girardi because the Girardi might need it for a better situation. And I'll just be talking about it right now with the Bushiwaka. The Bushiwaka, actually I'm pronouncing it correctly now. The Bushiwaka is kind of a hard place to put it here. This is probably the best melee weapon for sniper. It does make you take 120% damage instead of 100% damage, so you are kind of more vulnerable to it, but you're getting free crits if you get mini crits. So this is, I'm gonna put it right here. It is risky to use it, but if you have the Girardi, you'll kill anyone super quickly. You'll be the highest damage dealing class in the game, which is kind of funny for a sniper. The highest damage dealing class in melee combat. And you can also use the Continuous Combine, but it's just not as efficient as the Girardi. Also, this will be these two are just a good combination for ambushing, which is kind of like a spies thing, but you can use it the same method on a sniper. Now, this one is just not that good. Just gonna say, I would say all the other options are better. You know what? Just to give it a bit, the stock Kukri, a bit of spotlight here. I'm just gonna put it in meh, just because I think it's not as bad as I'm saying it to be, but it's still kind of not really exciting to use, like similar to the shovel. Now, this is probably the worst weapon in the game. Similar issue to the equalizer, just because by the time you get the benefit of the additional damage, you have to be. I'm gonna see the stats right now again, and it says here that you have to be. It's pretty bad. Like, this is ridiculous for a weapon. This is the Sahan Shaha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. But it's arguably the worst weapon. You have to have less than 50% health to just get the benefit of 25% more damage. That's not really worth it. You're risking yourself from dying. I guess this is good if you're like a last resort, but you have a better chance killing someone with the Girardi and the Bushiwaka. Like, these combinations are far more powerful. You also do 300% damage more. So there's no point of this one. It's like pretty much a worse version of the Bushiwaka upgrade with the Girardi. And I would say these are probably the best ones for up close combat. This is pretty much a worse version of the Bushiwaka and Girardi combination. That'll be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below if you have any other opinions about my list. Maybe you didn't agree or you agree. I'd just like to hear your opinions down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.